Hey, this is Jeff. Welcome back to Fallout 4 roleplaying with the attack key disabled. Last week, Nasty Nate learned Sean wants him to become the director of the
Have you
Institute.
seen J522 around? He didn't show up for duty today, and I can't seem to find him.
Did you check robotics? He was probably scheduled for routine maintenance. I wouldn't worry about it.
I thought so too, but he wasn't in the log, and everyone I've asked hasn't seen him. He's never just missed his shift like that.
What are you saying?
I'm worried something might have happened to him. No one knows where he is. It's like he just disappeared. It doesn't feel right.
Shh. Keep your voice down. You know what happens if they hear you talking like this? They'll wipe you. I suggest you keep this to yourself.
But what if something's wrong? Look around. Courser patrols have doubled. Synths are being wiped more frequently. Something is going on.
I don't want to hear anymore. Do whatever you want. Just leave me out of it.
Probably with the railroad by now. I don't have a problem with that, but some things are gonna change around here once I'm in charge.
Extra rest?
Are there many more of these questions?
Okay. Any additional pain or tenderness?
Not that I've noticed, no. I feel quite well.
Okay. How's your energy level? Feeling any fatigue?
No more than I'd expect from a man of my age.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. I understand mass fusion was a success, despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
Sean, I can hear you all the way downstairs. Yeah, they're a real thorn in my side. Would have been a lot quicker if they hadn't gotten in my way.
Yes, they are becoming a nuisance. The Brotherhood's intervention must be placed in a larger context, however, given their penchant for hoarding technology. Future conflict with them is guaranteed. We are, after all, keepers of the most advanced technology in the Commonwealth, if not beyond. It also cannot go unnoticed that there were concerns within the Institute about your allegiances. I, of course, never doubted your commitment to our cause. But by directly confronting the Brotherhood, I think you've put some others at ease. I'm proud of you, regardless. The Brotherhood is an issue for the future, and we must focus on the present. And look at me, rambling on like the old man I am. I'm wasting time. You're needed elsewhere at once.
You know what else would have made it go quicker? If Allie had actually done a job. She makes a big deal. She's got to go with me, 'cause it's fragile and complicated. Then she's standing there in a radiation suit, tells me to get the agitator out of the reactor chamber. Your people got no discipline, Sean. I assume you need more parts for the reactor, but they follow my orders or they stay home.
No, but it is related in a sense. What should have been a simple situation has unfortunately become complicated. While you were working with Dr. Fillmore, a small team was dispatched elsewhere in the Commonwealth. Dr. Thompson was tasked with inviting someone from the Commonwealth to join the Institute.
Well, that sounds unusual. I didn't think you let anybody in here.
Usually you would be correct. This time, however, an exception was made. There was no indication that this would be a problem, but the arrival of the team was an unwelcome surprise to Mr. Wallace. Somewhere along the way, he must have realized we'd been monitoring him from a distance. He called in mercenaries to defend him. I'm sure they're nothing we can't handle. Ensure the safety of the team and Mr. Wallace, and see that they all arrive back here safely. I'll be waiting.
It didn't occur to me last week, but even though you can fast travel out of the Institute because Dr. Lee installs a courser chip in your Pip-Boy, you can only get to the mass fusion roof by using the relay room. I'm sure they did that because otherwise you wouldn't get the message that continuing will make you permanent enemies with the Brotherhood of Steel, but it might have been a little more immersive if Allie had some dialogue about we have to boost the power because of interference from the reactor or something. Which would also explain why they teleport you to the roof when the reactor's in the basement, even though that's obviously also just level design. They want you to run the gauntlet from the roof down to the reactor. This is taking an awfully long time to load. Did it crack? Nope. I don't like trouble this close to my adhesive plantations. Let's see if we can de-escalate this situation. And the easiest way to de-escalate a situation is picking them off from a high vantage point, at a safe distance. Gunners? Well, that's different. Usually it's the Minutemen, and it's a big dilemma unless you convince them to back off with a speech challenge. I mean, it wouldn't be a dilemma for Nate, but I haven't spoken a word to Preston since they moved into Sanctuary, so I guess because there wouldn't be a plot conflict, the game just spawned in gunners. There you go. Some people might not call that de-escalation, but the way I see it, situation's resolved, the gunners rest in peace, so that qualifies as a peaceful resolution. Now we just gotta get this new hire back to the Institute. I'll put on the charisma outfit real quick.
Oh, thank God you're here. I was starting to worry we might not make it out of this mess.
Just give me a sit rep. How exactly did this all happen?
I'm not suited for field work. I've said that over and over, and they sent me anyway. There was no indication that Wallace had been in contact with anyone or was aware that we might be watching him. If I'd known, I don't know. Maybe I'd have tried to handle things differently. I know he's potentially important to Phase 3 and all, but I'm not sure it's worth putting ourselves in harm's way.
Far as I can tell, you were only in harm's way because you screwed this up.
Look, I had the same intelligence reports as everyone else. No one saw this coming.
Enough yapping. Just give us the information already.
I know they've been keeping an eye on him for years. Not sure how they originally found him, but probably don't want to know. But once they realized how smart he was and what an asset he could be for Phase 3, they watched pretty closely. I think they even fed him scientific material from time to time to see how good he was, you know, testing him, to see if he was Institute material. Let's just get Wallace and get out of here.
What do you mean, get Wallace? You don't have him already?
I know. There's a slight problem with that. He doesn't want to go with us. I was thinking, maybe you could try and talk to him.
No problem. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse.
I hope so. We really need him.
Hey, Wallace, you in there?
You're another one of them, aren't you? Are you a robot?
We ain't gonna hurt you. We're just here to talk.
You're not stealing my organs, or shooting me into space, or whatever it is you do. I won't let you. I've heard all the stories. I know exactly what happens to people when the Institute shows up. Well, it's not happening to me.
Hey, just calm down, all right? Like I said, we ain't gonna hurt you. We're just here to talk.
Fine, fine. What do you want from me?
The Institute needs your help, Mr. Wallace. It's as simple as that.
My help? With what?
The Institute has an engineering problem that your scientific expertise could help solve. In exchange for helping us out, you'd be granted access to the most advanced research facility imaginable. Whatever research you wanted to perform, anything, it's possible there. I promise. You'd be safe and secure in a way that's completely impossible anywhere else.
Think about your future, Wallace. They got all the gizmos an egghead could ever want to tinker with. Best of all, there ain't no kidney thieves.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. Okay, fine. I'll go.
I'm looking forward to working for you, future director. Okay. I think we've got this under control now. Thanks. Thanks for the assist.
Yeah, I love micromanaging screw-ups. You gotta bring him in immediately, right?
Oh, yeah. Don't want him to start second-guessing the decision. I'll see you back in the Institute.
Ah, there you are. I cannot express how pleased I am. Our new guest is familiarizing himself with his surroundings. Yet he's already pointed out several inefficiencies in our methods. With his help, Phase 3 will be ready in no time. And it's all thanks to you.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of work went into this before I even arrived. How close are we?
It shouldn't take long at all. The Facilities Division has it well in hand. There is one more part for you to play, and I think you might enjoy it. It is time to announce our presence to the Commonwealth, to request that they do not interfere with our plans. You should be the one to do it.
Right. You gotta announce yourselves because nobody topside suspects you even exist. Other than newspaper reporters and, oh yeah, everybody else.
This is not a joke. There's been too much posturing by too many groups. The world needs to know that we are in power and the Commonwealth is ours. As the incoming director, it is your responsibility to lead, to establish that place for the Institute's future. Please take this seriously. We've prepared some remarks for you to record. Once you're finished, we'll broadcast them to the entire Commonwealth. Use the microphone here and follow the script. It's quite simple. I'm sure you'll do fine, Father.
This is the only drawback I've ever found to using the mod No Player Voice. The voice actor reads the first part of each sentence into speech, and you pick a phrase to complete it, sort of like Mad Libs. So without hearing that context, the choices don't make much sense. Fortunately, you do get a copy of the script to see what it says overall and compare what Sean wrote with what you actually pick. People of the Commonwealth. For years now, you've suspected that the Institute still exists, that we are among you. It is true, but it's not the whole truth. We are the future. You know what? They wrote a script for me because they wanted to save face, but screw that. Most of you know me as Nasty Nate, Don of the Sanctuary Hills Gang, Capo di Capi over the Commonwealth. And I'm taking over the Institute. If you're already under my protection, that ain't gonna change. Now, some of you blame the Institute every time you lose your keys. But most of what you think they done, they didn't. And the things they did do is in the past. From now on, if you interfere with the Institute, you answer to me. If you're one of the crews who think you can run an independent racket so long as you fly under my radar just got a lot better. And to the Brotherhood of Squeal? You little piggies had better wee all the way back to DC while you got the chance. 'Cause I know where you park your ride. All you really need to know is, if you're one of my friends, you can rest easy. 'Cause I never have enemies for very long.
Well, that was interesting. Now it's time to make sure that everyone hears it. How would you feel about making a little trip to Diamond City?
Sure, I could use some fresh air.
A quaint phrase, though I'm afraid the air there is anything but fresh. The radio station in Diamond City is listened to by many in the Commonwealth. If we'd like the people to hear what we have to say, it's the best way to reach them. Before we preempt their broadcast, we need to ensure it reaches the maximum range possible. I've been assured that the necessary parts are on site. You'll just need to install them to boost the broadcasting power. Report back when you're done. We should be ready by then.
All right, to Diamond City.
If we're looking for some action, I'm betting we'll find it here.
I hear people use immersive and realistic interchangeably, but immersive just means you almost forget you're playing a game. For some people, realism does that for them, so they really are the same, and for the most part, I agree, but I find some parts of reality tedious, and replicating them in a game takes my head out of it, so for me, it's really more about continuity than literal realism. Like, how did Kate know I was coming here? Or does the molecular relay keep your companions in a pattern buffer or something while you're at the Institute, then rematerialize them when you teleport out? Anyway.
Hi. There.
You're that terrible DJ. Don't mind me. So here are the radio parts. And we need to put them in these slots.
Hey, I mean, hi.
Shut up.
Again,
we need to put them in the slots in the right order. There are only 6 combinations, so if you're methodical, doing this by trial and error doesn't take that long. It's also the same every time, and it's easy to remember because they go in alphabetical order from left to right. Buttons, dials, tubes. Well, it's alphabetical in English. In other languages, it probably isn't. Anyway, back to the Institute.
I know you'll achieve great things here. We all do.
We need to go through advanced systems to get to the reactor. Well, makes sense. It's the door back here that was previously blocked off with a laser grid. This location is actually used in multiple quests, depending on which faction you side with. But in this scenario, it should be pretty uneventful. Yeah, you can see laser turrets there, which won't factor into it today.
Sleep is such a waste of time.
Ah,
I'd rather be designing more efficient plasma emitters.
I like your attitude, Rosalind. If you wasn't one of the first people I met when I got here, I might not have stuck around. Maybe I'll come up to your place later. You can tinker with my plasma emitter.
I have to admit, the 3rd generation synths are really something.
What? Did you not get the memo? They're buggy as hell. If you think they're great, you ain't got all your marbles. No wonder you can't cure Sean.
Enjoy your trip to the big city. It's done then? The transmitter has been modified.
Piece of cake. It's ready to go when we are.
Good. Once the reactor is online, we'll cut into their broadcast. I'll let you do the honors. This, my friends, is the moment we've all worked towards. After all your effort, the time has finally come to start our reactor. No longer will we be forced to compromise to survive. No more will we need worry about outpacing our resources. My father and I couldn't be more proud of what you have helped us accomplish, and we look forward to achieving even greater things in the future. The Institute is now truly mankind's best hope. Thank you. All of you.
Hey, Allie. Wanna give me a hand? This thing's complicated and delicate. No? Whatever.
Let your surroundings be a reminder of what science and willpower can accomplish.
I hope science and willpower can close that reactor door before I fire this thing up. High levels of radiation are likely present in the reactor chamber. No, really? There's really no closed door menu. Gotta do them manually? No manual control either.
Perhaps someday our synths can reclaim the Commonwealth.
Perhaps someday you can put safety features on your reactors. Alright, if that door don't close automatically, you better hope the rads kill us before I get my hands around your neck. Well, that's good. You eggheads shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. Would it kill you to put a manual failsafe on it?
It's almost hard to believe. After all those years of hard work, here we are. We've arrived. Look what you've made possible.
Alright, now we got all the power we need. That don't mean I expect people to leave the lights on when they leave a room. So what's next?
We'll get to that. There's more work to be done before the Institute's future is guaranteed. The Directorate has convened a meeting about how to proceed. I'm not going to attend. You should be there as Director.
I like the sound of that. Thanks. Here I was thinking I'd have to wait for him to kick the bucket before they put me in charge. This day just keeps getting better and better.
Unit B592 is undergoing the reclamation
May I be the first to
process
welcome
as we
you,
speak.
sir. We're looking
Before
forward to
long,
working
he'll be
with you.
back in the workforce.
Okay, first order of business. No more interruptions. Drives me crazy when you schmucks talk over each other. If I gotta treat you like little kids, I will. Speak when you're spoken to, and if you got something to say, raise your hand. We all clear? Good. Alright then, Sean said you already have an agenda for this meeting? Let's hear it.
Yes, of course.
And?
Right now, we're all here because it's finally time to stand up for ourselves.
Let's not be dramatic, Justin.
There's nothing dramatic about it. We're in a position to push back, to assert ourselves here. That's what we've talked about all along.
To bring you up to speed, obviously there are groups in the Commonwealth that stand in opposition to the Institute's goals. With the reactor now online, we have the ability to not only expand synth production, but to project power to a much greater degree.
So where you going with this? What do you think our goal is?
Well, the Directorate has agreed that steps must be taken to ensure our safety in the long run.
Let's not beat around the bush. The Directorate has agreed that the Brotherhood of Steel needs to be eliminated.
As the incoming director, we felt it important to inform you of the decision and get your thoughts on it. So, where do you stand?
They've been living on borrowed time since the day they flew that blimp over my home and announced on a loudspeaker they was in charge. We hit 'em hard, while they still think we're just waging a war of propaganda.
Good. That's just what I wanted to hear.
As director, it's up to you and how we focus our efforts in achieving this goal. We'd like your input on what direction we should take. Do we increase synth production or focus on weapons development?
Well, that's an interesting choice. We'll get to that in a minute. The next order of business is the Gen 3s. Sean said you've been correcting defects for 60 years, give or take. But from what I've seen, they're getting worse, not better. You eggheads might talk about root cause analysis and untenable paradigms. But where I come from, we got a different saying for that. You can't polish a turd. I want production stopped, and I want it stopped right now. Now that we got that out of the way, let me answer your question. We got people like Rosalind who will work on weapon upgrades in a spare time. And for the most part, the kind of gun that does the killing ain't as important as making sure the finger on the trigger can't be scared off, begged off, or paid off. So I want you to step up production at Gen 1s and 2s.
Well said. I'll see that the necessary steps are taken. Thank you very much for your time, sir. That's all we have for the moment. I believe Father wished to speak with you once our meeting concluded.
Being the director of the Institute is a serious commitment. I hope you understand that.
Uh-huh. Having my foot up your ass is a serious possibility if you keep lipping off to me. I hope you understand that. And let's level up before I forget. The third rank of Ninja just unlocked at level 33, so no dilemma there. I've mentioned before there's a bug that if you take the sneak attack perks in the wrong order, it doesn't calculate the bonus correctly. With Cloak and Dagger, Mr. Sandman 3, and Ninja 3, the multiplier should be 4.8, and I think I did it in the right order, but I won't know for sure until I try it.
You've met with the Directorate. I assume they made their intentions known? It was difficult for them to reach the decision to engage in open hostility. What about you? You agree with their decision?
I was already thinking along the same lines. I was kind of surprised they agree with me. Fanboys was messing with my protection business topside long before they made a play for the agitator. There's no question. They gotta go.
I'm glad you agree. None what comes next will be easy. That conviction may help keep us all going.
You know, Father, it's no secret that you worked with the Railroad in order to first reach the Institute.
The depth of your involvement with them has been called into question repeatedly. I'm sure you can guess by whom.
Justin.
The question is, where do you stand with them now? Do you count them amongst your allies?
What difference does that make? What are you getting at?
I think it's obvious. For the Institute's position in the Commonwealth to be secure, the Railroad must be eliminated. Completely. As our primary above-ground operative and someone who has had previous contact with the Railroad, you are in the best position to carry this out. So what I'm getting at, simply, is this. Are you willing to destroy them?
Sean, Gen 3s have a fatal design flaw. Trying to correct a defect is wishful thinking. Justin's only in charge of SRB because his boss had to go hunt down a rogue Corsa, and that's your top-of-the-line, most reliable model. They can't be trusted, and I don't want them around me. If I tell the Railroad I stop production, not only will they cease to be a threat, but they'll haul away my scrap on their dime and think I did them a favor. And considering how useful they've been to me in the past, I'm not going to waste a resource like that just because you got hard feelings.
Even knowing that they would kill all of us, you included, to get what they want. I'm sorry, but consider this an order. It must be done. I'll expect a report when they've been eliminated.
I don't take orders from my kids, Sean. You keep giving me that attitude, I'll put you across my knee. Well, at this point, I think we're just a few episodes away from the end of the game, and while I pretty much know how Nate's going to handle most of it, there is one thing I thought viewers could help me decide. Very early in the series, it became kind of a running joke that Nate flirts with, or sexually harasses, every female character who isn't romanceable. But when a woman is actually interested, he either ignores her, like Piper, or just has really bad timing, like Magnolia.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Why don't you come up to my room, Doc? I'll clean your pipes, keep everything running real smooth. Anyway, Kate's been at maximum affinity for a while, but we haven't had the final conversation that unlocks her perk, so I'm leaving it up to you. Does Nate find true companionship with someone like himself who cuts corners and resolves conflict with a bullet? Or does he stay clueless and alone to the bitter end? Post your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next week.